Have you ever said something like, I'm not good at learning languages, or I can't crochet or can't knit? A lot of people say, I'm not tech savvy. I could never start an online business. But do you really believe that? Or what's the truth underneath that? Are you sitting in front of a pile full of tasks for your business, family, household, and everything else to do, and long for that to go away? The trick is creating passive income. Of course, there's some work behind the passive part, but working 20% compared to 120 completely turned around how I enjoy life today. Great to have you here. Are you ready to move the needle, work less, and earn more? Grab your latest craft project and your favorite drink. Let's stitch together purpose, profit, and peace to create the life we've long been wanting. When I moved to Switzerland, I only spoke or understood very basic German. At our Swiss wedding 1 year earlier, I didn't understand much of anything, except the part where I was supposed to say, I do. 1 month after moving here, I started working in a Swiss German speaking office. I made myself a cheat sheet with questions that I had to ask the customers who called. I didn't know all of the words yet, but I knew the business. I had worked with the same business in the US before I moved to Switzerland, but I had to learn German fast. I didn't ask myself if I could do it. I just did it. Life hadn't yet soured my self-confidence. I was still in Nike mode, like, just do it. After that, I heard from so many people, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not good at learning languages. And I'd ask them, why do you think that? The truth is, most people could if they simply took the time to learn, review, and practice. After all, we all learned our mother tongue, didn't we? Then came German knitting patterns. Once I translated them, I still didn't understand them all at first. I remember finding a Russian pattern with only a diagram and not much text, which I couldn't even read because of the symbols. I must have frogged that thing 100 times before it finally became one of my favorite sweaters. It took over 100 hours to make, but I did it because I refused to give up. With ADHD, I've always needed action and variety, so I tried a lot of things. My challenge was finishing projects, but here's what I learned from that. Most people can do far more than they believe. The biggest difference isn't talent, it's endurance, it's mindset, it's believing in yourself. And that's what today's episode is about, putting a demand on your potential. Waking up what's already in you and staying consistent long enough to see it bloom. So, who told you that you can't? We all have that inner voice or someone from the past who once said, you can't do that, or you're not able, you're not smart enough, you're not qualified, you're not quick enough, you don't get it. Often it's that little devil on our shoulder, agreeing with your self-doubt, continuing to feed lies. But most always, it's not even truth. It's just your brain's way of keeping you safe. Our minds are wired to avoid risk. But here's the thing. Sometimes not taking the risk is even riskier. An example. When I left corporate without a new job, because I didn't want one, after much prayer and agreement with hubby, I enrolled in a master's in translation. I was freelancing at the time with a specialty in international adoption, and I had considered scaling. I was scared I could not finish the studies because of the brain fog I'd been dealing with. But as I studied, I found rhythm and joy. I repeated the learned stuff I practiced over and over, and before long, it started to stick. I was so relieved, even a little proud, when I saw my first assignment grades, better than I dared to hope. And I realized my fear had been lying to me. You might have heard the quote by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So next time when that voice whispers, I can't, just go ahead and reframe that. How can I learn this? What's the first step? Who can help me? And say out loud, who told you that you can't? Because it surely wasn't your creator. God already gave you the potential. You just need to start using it. But potential isn't unlocked simply by believing you have it. You need to do your part. If we look at passion and endurance, that actually equals growth. Passion makes learning easier, but endurance keeps the fire burning once the beginning excitement fades. We live today in a 3-second attention span world. If something doesn't work instantly, we keep scrolling, so to speak, thinking it's not meant for us, and go to the next thing. But mastery doesn't come from speed. It comes from sticking with it. When you start something new, a craft, a business, or even a podcast, it's uncomfortable at first. That discomfort isn't a stop sign. It's proof that you're growing. My own online business journey had so many firsts. Learning new platforms, systems and tools, strategies, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but I'm getting there. Also, messaging. It all felt so messy at times. That's why I chose a ready-to-use business model, so I could actually focus more on doing the work than figuring out the tech. Remembering with my brain fog, again, the fear was real that I couldn't do it. Over time, awkward beginnings became smoother. Practice turned struggle into skill, and skill into satisfaction. Then there's endurance, and the endurance is the bridge between your current reality and your dream. What's something you once found impossible that now feels easy? That is endurance at work. Recently, the word endurance has been put on my heart. It's popped up in different books, in podcasts, and somehow I felt convicted. But I did realize that I'm getting better and better with it and confirmed to me that I'm on the right path. So let's talk on faith, mindset, and visualization. I fully adopted this truth. God does not call the equipped, He equips the called. When you step forward to do something new, the resources, the people, and the courage often appear after that first leap. You don't need to know the whole plan in advance, just the next faithful step, because it is a step of faith. You believe that you will be told and you'll be shown what to do next. This loops back to believing that you can. Otherwise, that step just simply won't happen. Visualization is another powerful tool to see your future self, how you live, how you work, how you feel, how you're making an impact in your world. So if you imagine the sound of your environment in the future, the warmth of the space, even the scent of your surroundings, you could choose a favorite candle or coffee or scent, whatever it is that will be there in your future. When you feel your vision, not only think about it, your brain starts believing it's already possible, that you're already there. Remember that we talked about the imposter syndrome episode? Discomfort often means you're on your way to get there. Also, you can think of it like planting seeds. Every small action waters your potential. If you stop watering, nothing grows. But if you keep showing up, the bloom is inevitable. So, how do we redefine success and comfort? If your comfort zone is the size of your sofa, it's too small. Ask yourself, what's my priority? Is it to stay comfortable or to grow and to increase? Whatever you may want that to be like. Growth doesn't always mean chasing hustle or money. It's about living with purpose, creating time for family, friends, enjoyment, creativity, and the freedom to experience life fully, which could also mean increased earnings to make an impact around you. I'd rather say that I tried and learned, and often failed and learned, than I never moved forward or evolved. I'm in the same spot I was 5, 10, 15 years ago. I don't want that. When you look back, growth doesn't feel like pain anymore. It feels like progress. The discomfort was just the stretching that got you there. Take a moment to really imagine your ideal life. What does it look like in detail? If you don't define it and you don't visualize it and think about it, it won't happen by accident. And remember, it's more helpful to do fewer things with excellence, once you know what those things are, than many things at the same time halfway. You already have what you need to begin. The potential is there. It's waiting for you to put a demand on it. So this week, choose one thing, new thing, that enlarges your comfort zone. Sign up for that class. Post something you've been hesitating to share, or learn one new skill that moves you towards your dream. Whatever it is, don't wait for one day. Make it today. New things give us energy because they give us hope. Growth is energizing. So take that first step. The only thing that can stop the blessings of God is unbelief. Stay in faith, take courage, and remind yourself, you were born with potential, you're equipped, you're called, and your best days are still ahead of you. I hope this episode helped you move forward toward your goals and dreams, and that inspired you in some way. If it did, please do share it with a friend, and it would help me greatly if you would like to leave a review on the show. Have a look online at bkija.info, where you can find out more about the online business system I chose to run alongside my knitwear business, and that changed everything for me. That's vekija.info. There's a link and more info in the show notes. I'd be happy to mentor you every step of the way. Keep your heads up and take consistent steps forward with your eyes on the prize. And remember, mindset is the largest factor for success. See you next time and be blessed.